Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to This Just In. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I wanted to give you an update on Sofi. The lockup expiration, is today. So I wanted to give you my thoughts as well as my Sofi stock price prediction for the end of 2021. So let's jump right in. All right, guys, before we get started today, subscribe to the channel for me. Hit that little bell so you get notified every time I post. There's also a link down in the description to my Patreon account. Come over and join the family. We've got an amazing community, a ton of like-minded individuals constantly trying to help each other. You'll get access to the private Discord where we talk stocks. You'll get links to 5 portfolios so you can see exactly what I invest into. And then anytime I buy or sell a stock up to the second I do it, I send out a notification so you can follow along. I also send out a lot of high value swing trade setups, or anytime I map a chart or I've got a watch list, really anything that can help us become better investors. So if that's something you're interested in, come over and join us. It's a beautiful family, and I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. Day one squad, I love you guys more than anything. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. But guys, let's get started. Today I want to go over Sofi. I want to do a Sofi stock analysis of where it's at today. I also wanted to kind of look at the lockup expiration that's going on today. And then I want to give you some of the catalysts that I think is really going to drive the Sofi stock, in the coming months. That way I can also give you my Sofi stock price prediction for the end of 2021 and 2022. So let's get started, guys. First thing I want to look at is just the lockup. I saw this article that I want to just kind of show you so you kind of understand. So the shares got killed last week. I mean, the Sofi stock price got down like 11% just on Friday, down to about 18 bucks. I actually think it puts it in a really nice spot for anybody that does not currently have a position in Sofi and wants to take a position. This is one of my high conviction plays. I do plan on holding this for the long term. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, Sofi is definitely one of my biggest positions. So this does not bother me at all. I actually just think it's a great opportunity to buy more. So as you can see here, the SEC filing shows the notice of effectiveness for the conclusion of the lockup period. The lockup is set to expire on Monday, June 28th, which is today. For 5% shareholders and certain executives, this lockup does not apply to PIPE investors. So guys, for those of you guys that don't know what the lockup is, after the merger completes, the early investors, the PIPE investors, anybody that, is an insider that owns shares to the company, they can't sell their shares for certain periods of time. And it's usually like, 180 days or 30 days or, whatever it is. So 180 days or if the stock price trades above like $12.50 for 30 days straight, there's certain stipulations like that allow them to sell or not sell. So today you're going to get a lot of those insiders taking profit, securing their position, but also in the coming week, last week, why we saw that 11% sell off on Friday, because you get a lot of shorts that want to pile on because of the share lockup period. They know that it creates FUD. They know that it creates, downward pressure because you get insiders selling. You get a lot more shares hitting the market. So that's why you see that stock price sell off. Those short sellers and the profit taking of the early investors makes total sense for me. Like I said, guys, in previous videos, I did think the reason why the short interest was so high, and I didn't think it was going to get absolutely demolished like a lot of the other SPACs post-merger, because a lot of the insiders were actually shorting the stock to kind of hedge their position. We didn't see that bad of a sell-off. Actually, post-merger, ticker symbol change, we saw the stock go up, pretty significantly. And again, it has kind of traded back off today, which is still looking pretty solid. So, guys, a couple of things I want to talk about here. I don't see this as an issue. There will be multiple share lockup periods the rest of 2021, which will create downward pressure on the stock. But I think there is more catalysts that outweigh that, that will increase, tailwind and upward pressure on the Sofi stock price in the coming months. First thing I want to talk about is the student loan forbearance. That is set to end on October 1st of this year. Guys, it's been pushed off multiple times. I don't see it getting pushed off again. I've actually seen them say that it's not getting pushed off. The student loan forbearance, people that haven't been paying student loans for like 18 months. And so Sofi is going to benefit for that because of their demand for the lending products. So guys, there's 42.9 million student loans out on the market today. So that's a ton of people, that are going to have to all of a sudden start paying back loan payments again where they haven't been for the last 18 months. So they will benefit from that. The next thing is that bank charter, guys. I mean, that bank charter is going to be huge. The approval for that is set for November, which will, we've talked about before, adds over 25% to their EBITDA. It adds a ton of revenue. Let's actually take a look at that real quick. Guys, this is the impact of the bank charter. This is from their investor presentation. We have looked at this before in previous videos. For those of you guys that are not familiar with SoFi, I have made other videos where I go much further in depth on the company, all of their different verticals, projected revenue, all these different things, and I will link that right here if you want to check that out. So as you guys can see here, this is just EBITDA, mind you. This is not revenue. This is just EBITDA. Now, the dark blue is without the bank charter. The light blue is what the bank charter adds. So as you guys can see, in 2022, the bank charter alone will add $193 million to their bottom line EBITDA. If we take a look at the revenue growth, they're already growing revenue like crazy. So you can see here, they're projected to end 2021 around $980 million, almost $1 billion. And I actually think they will get really close to $1 billion, if not potentially even hit the billion. And then, 3.669 billion by 2025. Guys, this is massive growth right here when you start looking at like traditional banks, versus SoFi, which is obviously the virtual bank. That bank charter is going to create a ton of demand. I have seen, multiple different surveys that were pretty much talking about the amount of people that are open or, plan on switching to a virtual bank. The one that I saw was pretty much saying that 40% of, traditional bank customers are open to switching to a virtual bank as their primary bank eventually. And then 20% said that they are planning to switch to a virtual bank like SoFi as their primary in the next 12 months. And then I saw an analyst predict by 2025, 15% of all bank customers will have a virtual bank as their primary. That's huge, guys. We've talked about it before where SoFi has all of these different products integrated. It gives them a one-stop shop to invest, to do loans, credit cards, everything right there in one app. So it's convenience. The next thing, guys, is the Fed rate hike. Obviously, being the bank charter, that is going to benefit them tremendously because they're getting higher interest rates. Because of those higher interest rates, it will generate a higher net interest income for SoFi. So big benefit there. And I've also seen that there's like 40% chance that the Fed will hike their rates up by July of 2022. So big chance there that they're going to get an increase on their net interest income, which is obviously beneficial there. There's also just a ton of opportunity out there, guys, for SoFi to capture so much of the market from the traditional, banks that are, brick and mortar. The traditional banks have a massive customer acquisition cost. Sometimes they're over $1,000. SoFi's is like $50. Think about the traditional banks. Not only do they got to pay rent on their, physical bank branches, they also have, think about all the direct mailers that you get, $300 to open an account with us or $200 or whatever it is. They got to pay for the direct mailers. They got to pay for the stamps. They got to send them out. Then they got to wait for you to come in and sign up for an account. There's just so much opportunity there because the customer acquisition cost for SoFi is so much cheaper and their marketing is so much different. It's not traditional, it's virtual, it's viral marketing. They've got the football stadium. So there's just a ton of opportunity there to get to take a lot of that market share and a lot of those customers from traditional banks because their customer acquisition cost is so much low. They can do so much marketing and bring those customers in for cheaper. So with that being said, guys, a lot of benefit in the future here. I think that SoFi's stock price will do multiples of where it's at today. There's just so much catalysts that come up, in the coming months. Like I said, the rate hikes, the bank charter, the member growth. They're expected to do over 3 million members in the next couple of years. So a lot of potential there. All right, guys, let's take a look at the chart. Like we said, just look at the EBITDA. The EBITDA is massive. Most of the SPACs that we, invest into, a lot of the high growths don't have EBITDA anything like this. Most of them are not going to do, $447 million in adjusted EBITDA in 2022. So take that into consideration. Okay, guys, we've looked at this chart before. The last video I made, the stock was right around this area right here. We were just coming up on this inflection point where, it either holds or if it falls below, it gets kind of caught in this range. We've been range bound since clear back in the beginning of March when it fell down past it. It did reach that low of $13.14 that we talked about. It was just an insane price. And then kind of just stayed right around this area and held support at that $14.75 level. We have since broke out of this area, this range, and ran all the way up to a high point of $24.95. Almost recapturing this pre-discernible high back here. The most important area, though, was this high from back here in the beginning of March. We had to capture that pre-discernible high. Once you break this area, guys, what did I say in the last video? You break this area, you're going to 24. I'll see you there. You break the 24, I'll see you at 28. Then you're in price discovery. You did break it, but then you had a back test. So you came up, you got rejected at that $24 level. You got pushed down. You tried to go back up. You didn't quite make it up there again. Guys, that's not very strong right there. When you run up, you get rejected. You try to test it again. You get rejected. And then you sell off. You get support at the 20-day moving average. And then you try to advance to go test it for a third time, but don't quite get there. That is buyer exhaustion. I would imagine that's why you're getting the big, downward pressure sell-off. Obviously, the lockup expiration doesn't help with that. But what you really want to see here is you got to see it hold support. Confirm this as support. Just showing investors that once was resistance is now definitely support. So now the other thing that I wanted to show you is you are getting, and you can make an argument for hidden bullish divergence right here on the MACD. You can see here, you have the low point here to this area here where you have higher price, but you have lower levels of negative momentum, which is impending price action continuation to the upside. Hidden bullish divergence is just continuation to the upside. You're in an uptrend. Hopefully that continues. You can't quite say it on the RSI yet. You would need the RSI to continuously make lower levels while the price maintains similar levels as here. If you do get this candlestick to confirm this area right here, kind of make a doji like it's making right now, and then you get another candlestick to kind of gap up, right at the top of this level, and you get a big, nice green candlestick tomorrow, then you will get that evening star pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern. And you could run right back up to the $24 level, break it, back test it before running to 28. Now, obviously that's speculative, guys. We don't know what's going to happen from here. If you do not own the stock, I would highly recommend finding confirmation here. Once you find confirmation here, I think $18 is a great price for the stock. I think anything sub 18, you're going to do very, very well. My price target on the stock that I've put on, in other videos is $29.36, somewhere around that, $30, which if you look at from current levels here, is going to give you about, 60% upside from current levels, which is fantastic. That is my price target for the end of 2021. I actually have a higher price target for the end of 2022, upwards around that $45 to $48 range, which I think is very, very doable. As of right now, guys, like I said, I currently own it. It's one of my biggest positions. If I break this level here, you obviously don't want to wait, or you want to wait until you come back here. Because if you break this level here and you cannot hold it as support, you're going to fall back to the bottom of the range at that 1475, where it was holding as support previously. Again, though, you are just confirming this area. It would have been nice to see it come up, break it, back test. You didn't quite get the back test there because you had too much buying pressure. But however, it did hold this pre-discernible high, which is exactly what we needed to see. Then you had this big gap up. You filled the gap. You went back up to try to test it. So overall, then you had the dark cloud cover, sell off, tried to test it. You couldn't quite get there, and now you gap down. You are under both of the moving averages as of today, but overall, you probably are going to come back up here and fill this gap. So just watch it, guys. Put it on your watch list. If you don't currently own it, confirm it as support before you take an entry, because you don't want to take an entry and have it sell off to 1475. I mean, which you could do if you have a long-term outlook, and you could just cost average down. That's like what I would do. But I would wait for confirmation. You know, you get another candlestick, you get some positive momentum, you get a hike in volume to show that you are going to continue up to the upside. You hold this level, guys, you're going up to 24.25 again, or 24.59 again to retest it. You break it, back test it, you're going to 28. And I would be hard pressed to say you don't break that if you break out and go up again. So overall, guys, I think SoFi looks great. I'm not concerned at all of the lockup period. I think that is something that is going to be minuscule in the grand scheme of things. This stock is going to do extremely well. SoFi as a company is going to do extremely well. So I have no concern there. Again, guys, you did get a, you know, the highest level of negative volume that you had, you know, since what, clear back here in January because of that lockup period. That makes sense. So I think it's FUD. It will eventually die off. And I think that you'll see, you know, SoFi continue to advance. You did capture the prediscernible high. You are making a higher low. What more can you ask for? But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for your support. I love you all more than anything. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed stockbroker. Always do your own research and due diligence. Don't just take my word for it. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with my SoFi stock prediction. Let me know if you have your own, you know, SoFi stock price prediction. I'd love to talk with you about it. You know, and then come join us at the Patreon. If you want to be part of an amazing family, like the video if you get any value out of it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.